Σεβασμιότατε Αρχιεπίσκοπε Θειατήρων και Μεγάλης Βρετανίας, κύριε Γρηγόριε, Σεβασμιότατη Αρχιερείς της Μετροπολίτη της Ιεράς Ημών Αρχιεπισκοπής και Θεοφιλέστατη Επίσκοπη, Σεβασμιότατε Μητροπολίτα Αμισού, κύριε Νικόλαε, Μπουένος Άιρες, κύριε Ταράσιε, Εδεσιμότατη, Πανουσιολογιότατη, Ευλαβέστατη Ιερείς, κύριε Υφυπουργέ των Εξωτερικών της Αμερικής, κύριε Πρέσβη της Ελλάδος, κύριε Πρέσβη της Κύπρου, κύριε Τελετάρχα, this is a translation of Master of Ceremonies, κύριε Αντιπρόεδρε του Αρχιεπισκοπικού Συμβουλίου, κύριε Γερουσιαστέ, κυρία Πρόεδρος της Φιλοπτώχου, Commander των Αρχόντων, κύριε Πρόεδρε της Κληρικολαϊκής, κύριε Μάνατε, κύριε Πρόεδρε της απόψινής αυτής συμποσιακής περιπτώσεως, κύριε Άντρης, αγαπητοί αδελφοί και αδελφές, δόξα, τιμή και ευχαριστία ανήκουν στον Κύριο Ιησού Χριστό, ο οποίος μας συνεκέντρωσε στην περίλαμπρη Washington DC, την πρωτεύουσα του έθνους μας, για την 39η κληρικολαϊκή συνέλευσή μας. Έτσι άρχισε my keynote address. I thought of just repeating by changing the time of the verbs. Instead of looking to the future meeting, we are now concluding the meetings in a past tense. But if I follow the tradition of the Hebrew language, there is a possibility of mixture of tenses, and the limits and the differentiations between yesterday, today, and tomorrow are simply disappearing. So we made our 39 Congress something that overcomes any definition by time, because it's something that took place not only on the level of human existence as such, but on the level of the divine presence that is beyond time and space. So we are here concluding and offering our thanks to God. Προσφέρουμε τις ευχαριστίες μας στο Θεό, διότι μας αξίωσε για 4-5 ημέρες να ασχοληθούμε με αυτό το μεγάλο θέμα που είναι η ανάγκη να συγκεντρώσουμε στον οίκο του Θεού, τον λαό του Θεού, τους ανθρώπους οι οποίοι τον περιμένουν, τους ανθρώπους οι οποίοι έχουν να συνδεθούν μαζί του για να γευθούν τη ζωή του Θεού, δηλαδή την αθανασία, την αγάπη και την ειρήνη. Ευχαριστώ ιδιαιτέρως τους ομιλητάς απόψε. I express my deep thanks on behalf of all for the speakers of tonight. We enjoyed very beautiful presentations by all of them, and we also enjoyed a very elegant, precise, and balanced presentation by the Master of Ceremonies. Not an easy task, because not only for the Master of Ceremonies, but for speakers, there is always the tendency or the temptation of exaggeration. So tonight we have this good thing on all sides, and we enjoyed really aspects and presentations of ideas and things that are very important. We thank all of you very much. And we thank also the people who took care of organizing this evening's banquet. I have to tell you that because we are here facing a ruthless attack by the floodlights, my regret, not only mine, but I think the people here, was that I could really not see your faces. It happened. However, we were, I think, rewarded by, in this instance, because of the prevailing relative darkness in the hall, we enjoy these beautiful lights on the tables. When we are here, you see all this ocean of these nice lights, and it is quite a joy, I must tell you. And I mean that really there is nothing more beautiful, as St. John Chrysostom said, than to see human faces. I repeat something I said in another instance. Chrysostom says, I admire the sunset. I am just ecstatic with the sunrise. I am contemplating the immensity of oceans, the whispering of the trees, of the woods. Nothing can replace what I feel when I see the human faces. So tonight in these few minutes, trying to end the day we started, to honor the Sarbanian definition of a good symposium that should end the day it started. I will just offer some very simple thoughts beyond what we exchange and what we experience in the days of our Congress. And what we have experienced, I think that it's a common understanding of a very rich 4 days, filled with life, prayer, thinking, concern, love, fellowship, life. It was a life experience. So, beyond that, tonight, at this moment, let me just make 2 references. One is to think for a moment, as we are in this type of absolute silence, think and hear something that it's a reality, but normally we don't hear. And this is from the Epistle of St. Paul to the Romans, chapter 8, when he says that the creation is groaning with us, expecting the liberation of the sons and daughters of God. To hear the groaning or the sighing that is together with our own sighing as human beings. The verb used in the original is systenazi. The nature co-sighs, co-groans with us. So just hear this groaning of the creation. Because of what we did to this creation. And if you become conscious of this almost inaudible sound of the groaning, you can imagine why the ecumenical patriarch, our ecumenical patriarch, feels the way he feels and acts the way he acts for the environment. And then let us hear another groaning, the human groaning. In the Gospel of Luke, there is a beautiful parable, and in this parable we encounter the phrase about the people who are crying day and night to God. When we talk about gathering the people of God to the home of God, in order to do that, we have to be able to hear the groaning, the crying of those people who desperately look for a connection. Some of them for a reconnection, some of them for a first-time connection. At any event, for a connection with the source of life. So at this point, as we approach midnight, let's hear this double groaning, the natural world and the human beings, as a call to go out and gather the people of God to his home in a nature, a creation that is much more free from the sinful things that we have imposed on it. It's a difficult task, but at that point, and I would like to close with that, we have a magnificent text from the book of Revelation that helps us just face this task, formidable task, with courage and certainty about the future. It is one of the 7 epistles addressed by the angel, by the prophet, in the first 2 chapters, chapter 2 and 3 of Revelation, to the 7 churches of Asia Minor. It's addressed to the leaders of the church and to the church in general in each case. Allow me to read from the letter sent to the church of Philadelphia. So the prophet says, I read it first in Greek. Είδα σου τα έργα, ιδού δέδοκα ενώπιον σου θύραν ηνεωγμένην, ειν ουδείς δύναται κλείσε αυτήν, ότι μικράν έχεις δύναμην και ετήρησάς μου των λόγων. Which is translated, behold, I know that you have but little power, and yet you have kept my word and not denied my name. Behold, I open to you a door which no one could shut. We might be the people with, on the human side, limited power, but we are with God and we are in front of an open door. And this time, we have to exit in order to bring in. So then, let's close our beautiful days here with this kind of reference to this really very revealing and very encouraging text that goes further down to say, because you are what you are, because you have kept the word of my patient, I will make you a pillar in my house. So now here, the imagery of bringing my people to my home is having an additional extremely charming element. This home has pillars and columns that are the human beings, that are we. So we invite the people into the home in which we are, and at the same time, God has given us a tremendous privilege of being the pillars sustaining on the human side this house. A responsibility beyond any possibility to describe it, but a responsibility that opens to us the way to achieve the highest possible condition given to human beings. Thank you for being the terrific listeners of midnight speakers. And thank you for overcoming the natural human weakness, causing the eyes to close. And so, with really open eyes, and here I would like to remind the people who were listening to Mr. Sokolov the other day, when he said that in the rabbinic tradition, the prayer should be offered to God as we pray to God with open eyes, so that as our mind is connected with God, our eyes will not leave the connection with our human reality. Open eyes by midnight in a condition of prayerful thankfulness to God. And Your Eminence, to you who were with us these days, you asked us to pray. You didn't ask us to pray for the church in Great Britain specifically. You mentioned the other places, but we have to pray for the place from which our beloved brother has come, as well to pray continuously for the issues of Cyprus, of our ecumenical patriarchate, first of all, and for other issues that happen in the Balkans, and beyond that, issues related to Iraq, Afghanistan, Middle East, where people of our country here are daily on a very dangerous mission.